Life in the mortal realms can be hard at the best of times, with war a constant threat from the walking dead, destructive orcs, or literal demons. Today, we're going to focus on the demonic forces of chaos, specifically those belonging to the blood god, Khorne. Amongst the 5 ruinous powers, there is no god more bloodthirsty than the Lord of Skulls himself. A god with simple desires, the followers of Khorne serve him with the most basic and brutal of emotions and actions, such as hate, anger, rage, and war. He is more than just savage brutality, however, longing for not only bloodshed and slaughter, but also feats of martial prowess and honour. If you're going to dedicate your kill to Khorne, it had better come about from a straight fight. Those who offer their allegiance to Khorne, but stab their allies in the back, may find a flesh hound sent to deliver their treacherous skull to their master, to better serve as an addition to Khorne's mighty throne. No better example of this exists than in the case of Khorne's once favoured son, Skarbrand. The greatest of Khorne's bloodthirsters, Skarbrand was an artist of war and slaughter. He stood at the height of Khorne's martial hierarchy, and his arrogance swelled to rival his bulging muscles. Over time, his hubris would become fueled by the trickster god Tzeentch, leading the greater demon to believe themselves stronger and more suited to the throne than Khorne himself. Hiding in the dark, the demon struck the blood god in the back, whilst his attention was turned to other matters. Despite his great strength and previous victories, Skarbrand barely scratched the paintwork on Khorne's armour, and in an instant was held aloft by his throat, Khorne's clawed hand wrapped tight against his windpipe. Choking out all but an unbridled rage from the demon, Khorne then cast him from his grand citadel into the wastes of the realm of chaos. Skarbrand flew across the skies for 8 days and 8 nights, his wings burning to charred stumps, and his face taking the brunt of the impact when he eventually landed. Now referred to as the Exiled One, he roams the mortal realms, incapable of any thought beyond kill, maim, burn. For such respect of honour and a clear chain of authority, it's not surprising that the armies of Khorne follow a rigid structure. Making up the bulk of his demonic forces are the Bloodletters. Even these lesser demons are formidable fighters, their hellblades seeking out any whose blood is yet to be spilled for their lord, decapitating their enemies to offer up their skulls as worthy tributes. For those bloodthirsters who can earn favour with the blood god, they are summoned before him in his brass citadel. As a reward for their service in his name, Khorne offers them the opportunity to tame and ride into battle a juggernaut. These massive creatures, made from a twisted mix of steel, sinew, and demonic energy, trample the earth beneath their hooves as they roam across the blood god's realm. The anointed bloodletter must not only survive mounting one of these beasts, but they need to force the terrifying juggernaut into submission. Only then can the bloodletter call themselves a bloodcrusher and take up their role as heavy shot cavalry in Khorne's armies. As you can imagine, not all bloodletters survive this process, and those that hesitate to accept this grand offer are slain by Khorne himself, having proved to him that they lack the strength required to serve him further. The greatest of these bloodletters rise through the ranks to claim the title of Herald of Khorne. These greater demons lead the forces of Khorne into the mortal realms, pushing those under their commands to greater and more brutal acts of violence. They consider their task complete only when they have constructed a blood-soaked altar to their master, crafted using the bones of their defeated foes. Their raw strength and unrivaled skill in battle mark them out as the strongest of Khorne's lesser demons. Despite having fought and butchered their way to the top of Khorne's favour, even the mightiest Bloodletter Herald pales next to one of the greater demons of Khorne, a Bloodthirster. These towering beings of muscle fly into battle, held aloft on dark leathery wings, their iron-hard flesh covered in coarse fur and brass plate armour. Like all other followers of Khorne, they live for the thrill of battle. They use no magic, abhorring those who practice sorcery. Rather than rely on magic as other gods' greater demons do, Bloodthirsters allow their single-minded determination and strength of both will and force to carry them to victory. Wielding axes with blades as large as horses, they are capable of cutting through the ranks of the servants of Sigmar, or slicing the heads from towering Cygors. Much like the god they serve, each bloodthirster seeks not only grand slaughter, but also carries a warrior's pride. It is not uncommon for champions of order or warlords to challenge a bloodthirster to a duel, although often it is to their own swift demise. Regardless of their size or shape, the Demons of Khorne are not living creatures in the same way that those who reside in the mortal realms are. They are each pieces of the Blood God, physical manifestations of his will, sent out into the realms to enact that which Khorne loves above all else, slaughter. Due to this unnatural creation, the Demons of Khorne do not tire as they fight. In fact, the rush of battle and the splash of warm blood across their face will often invigorate them, giving them a boost of energy as they eagerly charge to the next closest fight. Even when the demons are cut down, their essence being spilt across the plains, they perish with glee. The Blood God does not care, you see, from whence the blood flows, only that it flows. There is a downside to this Chaos Spawn form, however. To enter into the mortal realms, demons must trek and fight their way to a realm gate, and then use the portal to travel to the realm they seek. Then, they have to fight their way through to their final quarry. The alternative to this long and often dangerous process is to be directly summoned by the mortal followers of Chaos. Gruesome and gore-soaked rituals can weaken the barriers between the mortal realms and the home of Chaos just long enough to allow demons to hack and claw their way into existence. When they arrive, they will fight alongside those that summoned them, should they be judged worthy. Otherwise, they set upon their summoners, slaughtering them before moving on to whichever target the Blood God has graced to point them in the direction of. Regardless of how they arrive on the mortal realms, Demons of Khorne pose a substantial threat for any who seek to make a home for themselves there. Whether as a legion of bloodthirsters marching on a stronghold of order, a herald gathering mortal forces to aid in summoning further reinforcements, or a host of bloodthirsters breaking down gates and slaying beasts, not even the green-skinned hordes can claim such wanton slaughter as that which the forces of Khorne promise. For many, when faced with the oncoming forces of the Demon of Khorne, their end is nigh, doomed for the last thing they hear to be the war cry of the Lord of Skulls.
Blood for the Blood God! Skulls for the Skull Throne!